it's so easy to hate me. Like I am a villain and I am trying to leave that, but people have made me a villain. And it's like, no matter what I do, no matter what type of content I make, no matter what I talk about, I will always be that person because it's so fucking easy for Amberlynn Reid to be the villain.
Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Alright, so last time that we talked about Amberlynn Reid, it was right after she had that really scary choking accident where she was choked on a potato, and she did a whole story time and talked about it. But now we are going to be talking about the fact that Amberlynn Reid, as many of you know, most of you guys don't need me to recap anything, but for some of you that might need me to, Amberlynn Reid has really recently been pushing to get weight loss surgery, and so we're going to be talking about what she's been doing to try and make that happen. After she had that really horrific choking accident, she basically said, I want to, focus on eating better. I don't want to be making videos about nothing, and I don't know if that has happened since the choking incident. One big thing that has happened recently was that an ex of Amberlynn Reid's basically started going online and sharing her experiences with Amberlynn and talking about how there was maybe domestic abuse and kind of sharing just like nitty-gritty details of the relationship. And then Amberlynn Reid has basically since then been going on live streams pretty frequently on YouTube, trying to defend herself, just really getting into the nitty-gritty of this. Personally, for me, that's not something that I really care to focus on. If you have insights into it, you can feel free to leave a comment. But for me, I just frankly don't care that much. So the information that I am actually interested in is the stuff that Amberlynn Reid has been sharing from going to the doctors and getting weigh-ins and stuff like that. There have been a couple different updates on that, so we're going to get into that. This first clip is from one of her updates about the weight loss and the diet and stuff like that. There's a few of these. We're just gonna be going over this one. I don't want this video to be super duper long, but a lot of them are kind of similar information is shared, and I feel like this video is the best job of it kind of being as condensed as possible. So let's get into it.
Next update is like my diet update, if you will. I hate calling it a diet because this is literally just a lifestyle change. There's such a negative connotation to dieting and diets, especially like because I have yo-yo dieted, but just for the lack.
I mean, honestly, like as cheesy as this is, and like we've all heard it, it's so true. Like it's true. Like it really is. Like if you're trying to lose weight and change your life, diet is not my favorite word either. So I know it might be cringy and like, oh my God, I've heard this a million times, but I can't disagree with it.
Of a better word. My diet update is next. So as you guys know, my dietitian wanted me to do 2,200 calories to 2,500 calories, and she gave me some macro goals, and I was following that. And she noticed, and I noticed collectively, that it was just too many calories. I know a lot of people sit here and think that with my weight, I should be able to eat 2,500 calories and lose weight like this, and that's just not realistic.
I know that most people that heard that probably are thinking the same thing, because when I first heard it, my initial thought is like, come on, you know what I mean? Like side eye, like, right? But she brings up her lipedema, and lipedema is genuinely something that makes it absolutely hard to lose weight. And so I'm not going to sit here and say I understand it completely. I've done research. I understand it a little bit. I am not an expert. I'm not a doctor, but it absolutely makes it harder to lose weight. I believe, and I have had friends that have had it that have been able to lose weight. It's definitely possible, but it's like one of those things that it makes something that's already hard, losing weight, incredibly harder, right? And so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, get over it, whatever. But I mean, as far as the numbers, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you're definitely eating more than 2,500 calories. I don't freaking know, right? And so if she claims that she is eating 2,500 calories and not losing weight, I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, prove it, because honestly, that's never going to happen anyways. And so it is what it is. The lipedema makes it harder, 100%. So I'm not going to sit here and say you're lying.
Because I do have lipedema. I have a very, very, very bad case of lipedema. You guys have seen my legs, and lipedema is abnormal fat that does not want to go away no matter how much you diet. And it just wants to get bigger and collect more fat cells.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just sad because, of course, it affects women basically only. Like, dudes don't really get it very much. It's just one of those things. And, like, I've been doing research, and like, from what I've seen, like, what's really sad is, like, the people that usually end up getting it are people that have struggled with their weight. And then it makes the struggle even worse. And so it is pretty common for people that end up getting diagnosed with it, that have it, that end up almost gaining even more weight, because I think it's just something that's hard to deal with. You know, it's hard to hear that losing weight is just going to be harder for you. I do think that it's possible, but like, I genuinely think that, I don't want to say it's an excuse, but it is truly something that I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, whatever, you know, like from what I've seen of her body in like the clips and stuff, like the way that her legs look, and it definitely seems like she has that. And so it definitely makes it harder, like 100%. So that's why I do think this weight loss surgery, she is a good candidate. I've always said that. I think that it's something that she should really be working towards, because, you know, she's someone that I think it would benefit a lot.
And that is what I am struggling with. And on top of that, I also have lymphedema, which is a lot of fluid, like a lot water retention. And we noticed that 2,500 calories is just too much for me. So instead of following any macros, she said, do not worry about that and just stick to an 1,800 to a 2,000 calorie diet. So I'm just glad I don't have to follow macros, because that got confusing and it got super overwhelming. So
yeah, I mean, again, another thing that I'm not going to fault her for, because if you are someone, I mean, Amberlynn Reid has tracked food for a long time, but especially if I was working with someone and they were new, I don't think I would force them to track macros right at the start, because it is extra steps on top of tracking, which if you're not used to tracking, that's already something that's stressful enough. And then if you add macros on top of it, it's just another 3 steps basically, right? Because for the most part, you're tracking carbs, proteins, fats. So it's like adding extra steps on something that's already kind of difficult, stressful. And so I don't see that as any sort of issue, or like, oh my God, you know? Yeah.
I'm glad that all I have to do is like count the calories now. So next is like an exercise update. As you guys know, I have been doing like these little exercises I showed you guys in a vlog before. Obviously I didn't physically show you, just because I feel like self-conscious to do so, but I am willing, if my supporters want to see more of like the exercises I am doing. She said that she does want me to continue to exercise 2 times a week. My next appointment is already scheduled, and it is around the exact same time where I have my last therapy session before I can get approved or whatever it may be for weight loss surgery. So that next appointment is like reassessment to see what else needs to be done, or if I am freaking ready for weight loss surgery. I noticed that ever since I started therapy, I started taking Zoloft and I'm just doing everything. I noticed that like my relationship with food is improving so much. Like takeout isn't even something that I think about while daily. It used to be something that I just wanted constantly, craving it constantly. And I would never eat food from my own fridge. And now I am every single day. And
yeah, that's definitely something that I feel like a lot of people that struggle with their weight to Amber's extent really struggle with, is the takeout, like just eating out frequently. Yeah, it is going out to eat, especially if you're going to like restaurants, even fast food, but restaurants are like notorious for just adding, this is a tangent, but whatever, notorious for adding just calories where they don't need to be added. Like you could go to a restaurant, order steamed broccoli, but it's drenched in butter and oil, and it ends up having freaking 20 grams of fat in steamed broccoli, you know? And so, that's like one of the most basic tips when you're trying to lose weight. Stop eating out as often. You don't have to do it. Stop completely. I just had Chipotle last night. Like, you can still do it 100%. But if you're doing it every day, you're probably going to have to slow down. Okay? That's, especially if you're doing it multiple times a day. Come on.
It just shows so much improvement, and it just makes me happy. Now we just gotta work on getting my lipedema and lymphedema on the same page as like my brain, my heart, and like my calories. So that's why she did lower my calorie limit pretty drastically. So I should have taken a picture, but I do want to tell you guys my weight from my scale at home, and then I want to show you guys, because I did remember to film it, the weight that I had on the scale at the office. So my weight at home today was 521.8. So I was expecting to be around, I would say about 525. That is what I was expecting. So here is the clip.
You got, what is the, what is this clip? just looks so terrifying.
So there it is. The dietitian was actually really proud of the progress I made, and we sat and we talked and we chatted and set more goals, and yeah, it was a really good appointment. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Now we have a whole other month to improve even more in every aspect of this journey. It's just been a fun journey so far. It's been obviously hard, but it's kind of cool to see like the improvement I have made, because I just wasn't expecting to improve because of therapy, but it kind of just goes to show that therapy and medication really does help people.
Yeah, man, it's kind of why it's there. So the reason that I wanted to play that clip, and as you could probably tell, I wasn't very negative or critical of most of the stuff that was said, because I agree with a lot of that stuff. Like, I want to see Amberlynn succeed. Like, I genuinely do. I think that would be amazing. I'm not even saying that as a joke. I truly believe that. Where I think Amberlynn Reid struggles so much is she is her own worst enemy. She constantly gets in her own way. And I think one of the best examples of that are these live streams that she's been doing, just going on there and just unnecessarily responding to people and things and about things that are not going to help the big picture at the end of the day, right? So I want to play one of the clips from these live streams. It's not very long, because these live streams are very long, but I want to play one of those clips and just share what I mean by that.
Like, I talk about this in therapy. Like, I talk about YouTube in therapy. I do, because it's not.
I mean, honestly, I think any YouTuber that's in therapy is talking about YouTube in therapy, because it's a lot. It is a lot.
It's not. Like, there comes a time where it's like things just get too hard. Like, I want to be able to read my comments without feeling like I'm about to have an anxiety attack. I shouldn't have to feel that way.
I agree. So I agree with this, but the issue is, and I'm just being honest. The vast majority of the people that watch Amberlynn Reid, and people are probably gonna be mad at me for saying this, they just don't care. They just don't care, right? It's like hate watching or lol cow or whatever word you want to use. Like, people aren't watching because they are like so inspired by this like lifestyle. They're interested, but they're not like invested, or like they want, you know, like I do think a good amount of them would like to see Amberlynn succeed. I think that'd be cool, but at the same time, a lot of people are just okay with seeing Amberlynn Reid fail, and it sucks and it's sad, but it is what it is. I think at some point you do have to take responsibility for a lot of the things that you have done. There has been a lot of mistakes, I think, that you've made, and like just choices that you made that really have fed into the situation that you have on your channel. But like going on these live streams and like bearing your heart and your soul to try and change people's minds, I just don't think it's, one, good for your mental health. Two, it's going to really do what you're expecting it to do. It's just going to give other people content, like me or like other people, right? Like, that's all it's going to do. And so like for me, if I were like actually your friend in real life and we knew each other, I would say, stop it. Stop doing them. Stop. You're not helping. Like, if the goal is to lose the weight and save your life, focus on that. Focus on that. Don't focus on the other stuff. But it's just constantly focused on what the haters are saying, or what people, you always are trying to prove everyone wrong. When you just let them think what they think. Do what you need to do to save your life. That's what matters. That's what matters.
And I feel like this big disconnect between me and my audience. Like, there are things I want to talk about and things I want to do and like all this stuff. And it's like the best way I can describe it is like, imagine inviting 10 people over to your home and 9 of them just treat you like shit. You don't want to keep inviting them over. So I'm having a hard time. Like, I'm just having a hard time. And it's like that one person out of the 10 who like loves me and supports me. I want to just keep them. and I want them to stay, and I want to talk to them and show them my life and tell them all these good things, but then also share the bad. And it's like the other 9 people, they make me feel so bad. I don't even want to speak. And I talk about this in therapy, and my therapist has made me realize that, like, stop filming for the haters. Stop filming for the trolls. And it's so much easier said than done. So much easier. It's insane. And I am working on that, and I am getting better with that, and I know I'm improving, but it's still so hard.
It is, but like, that is good advice. That is good advice. Stop focusing. It's not even like, I don't want to say, oh, just stop focusing on it, like whatever. I mean, like, literally, so many of your videos and the stuff that you make is like you trying, and you'll try and play it off as like, oh, I'm not saying this because I saw a comment that said I was doing this, but it's like, it's so clear in so many of your videos that you'll show something because you saw a comment saying, oh, she doesn't shower, and then your next vlog is you being like, hey guys, I just wanted to show you my shower today, and it's just like, dude, just stop. Just stop. Focus on the weight loss. Focus on those things that you need to do to save your life, and screw what everyone else thinks. Like, let them just, I don't know, man. At this point, it's like, you just got to focus on saving your life. That is the most important thing. Not the YouTube hauls, not the freaking, the torrid hauls, or the makeup hauls, or the, like, that stuff doesn't matter. Like, that's not even why people are here. Like, you know that the vast majority of people do not care about the torrid haul. So if you want to film it, that's fine. But just understand, no one's gonna want to watch that. And that's just how it is as a YouTuber. Like, you have people that are here for a specific reason, and when you branch off of that, most people are not gonna care. And if you're okay with most people not caring, then cool, do it. But if that's something that's gonna bother you, then don't do it, because you're just gonna be sad. In summary, the reason that I played that clip at the very beginning of this video, where Amberlynn talks about how she feels like she's the villain and people will always think of her as the villain.
I am a villain, and I am trying to leave that, but people have made me a villain.
I think to an extent that's true. But I think the way that you get out of that is by just doing what you say you're gonna do. Like, if you say, I am going to lose weight and get this weight loss surgery, do that. That's what people care about. I want to see you succeed in that. And all of these other things, all these other side quests that you're going on, all these other, like, trying to prove the haters wrong and trying to, like, show people that you're changed and blah, blah, blah. Screw it right now. Right now, like, it's clear we've had so many health complications coming up soon. Like, things are not going well, right? Health-wise. And it looks like it's turning around, which is awesome, but let's keep that train rolling. Let's save our own lives. That's what matters. That's how you stop being the villain, by just doing what you said you're going to do. To end this video, I have a clip that I think is perfect for Amberlynn Reid. So thank you so much for watching, and let's play that clip out.
Bitch, you think it's small. We need to be thinking big. You need to be thinking big, bitch. You need to be thinking big, bitch. Think big, bitch.